David Kotok, how does the U.S. economy look to you for the coming year?
I'm of the opinion that COVID isn't over. A shock will have years. History of pandemics supports me in that. The San Francisco Fed study of 19 pandemics is supportive of that. And what do they say? After every one, there's a slowdown, a recession. After every one, real interest rates, adjusted for inflation expectations, fall. Capital demands for infrastructure declines. Why? You kill people and you sicken people. The buildings still stay, but they're empty. So it's not a hurricane, natural disaster. It's not a flood. Pandemics are a different type of shock. That's how I see it. So I would say I'm in the camp, along with Michael Drury and others here, that we're in the trajectory of this thing slows. We go down to 2% growth. We may go under it. It's going to feel like recession. At the same time, shortage of labor. There aren't enough people. And we have policy doesn't let the ones who want to come into the country to help give us relief get here. I hope that changes. So we're going to have wage escalation, productivity gains, because you're going to get all the GDP with fewer people. Big profits, that's why the stock market's going up. But the slowdown is serious this time, because the politics of the country won't do the second round of major stimulus. It's not in the cards. And the Federal Reserve, which has essentially done everything it can, doesn't have anything more to do except prevent bankruptcies and defaults. So I'm in the camp of slowdown. Inflation, that means rolls over. Economic growth is back to 2%. For the money crowd, for my clients, for the investor class, it's monstrously wonderful. But for the 30 or 40 million households in the United States who are hurt and hurting, they're suffering. And that's what I'm worried about. Stability of society when people are suffering.
You would then see not only the monetary stimulus is positive, but the fiscal stimulus is positive, and you'd like more.
Well, it's a free shot right now. The United States could sell $1 trillion of 100-year bonds, and the world would gobble them up. Why don't we do it? Because we have a political divide. $2 trillion. If I were the czar, I would do a $2 trillion US dollar issue. $1 trillion, nominal interest rate might be 2% or 2.5%, and $1 trillion inflation indexed. And I'd pair them. And I'd say to the world, you want to own this? It's available to you. It would sell out. The deal would be oversubscribed. I think that's an opinion. We're not going to do that. We're going to fight over nonsense while people are dying and sick. And that's the American way. That's our politics. It's not. Churchill did not originate it, but he recited it in 1947 in the House of Commons, and he said, the full quote is, "It has been said that." Winston knew not to attribute to himself, Sir Winston, I should say, when somebody else preceded it. He was respectful of the language. So the quote is, "It has been said that democracy is the worst system of government, except for all the others." And we're watching it unfold right before our eyes.
What is the value over these more than 2 decades of having a group, 20, 30, sometimes more, meet up here in the Maine woods?
Well, this year, we divided in 2 cohorts. So we got 30 and 30 instead of 60 together. Everybody likes that better. We did that because of COVID. People have a separate room. We had an absolute vaccination requirement with proof. We have mitigation for those who want to use them. There's masks, we have gargle, we have nasal spray, we have sanitizers, we have social distance. You've been here. I think we've been pretty well behaved. We took your temperature twice a day. So, we took everybody. I mean, what else can you do other than not do anything? So, this is a little different, but the value has always been it was a place to have exchanges and discussions and ideas and diverse points of view, very civil, respectful, and then make an election to be on the record or off the record. So we've had people here from around the world. Some of them could not speak on the record. They would be tortured or killed by their governments. Those were very, very extreme learning sessions, because you go fishing with somebody and you have a meal with somebody, and then privately they share an experience and you say, oh my gosh. So we've been doing that for 20 years. It's been a place to do that. We sort of have a pledge of civility. We've had one or two misbehaviors and they don't get invited back, and that's the value of the gathering. It's collegial, it's relaxed. By the way, not a bad place.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Thank you, David Kotok.
It's nice to have you visit with us.
Thank you.